Recruits are in critical condition. We are getting an update now from CHP, other law enforcement officials, the LA County Sheriff's Office, the LA County Fire Department as well. And looking at video of the scene there on the right side of your screen, Supervisor Janice Hahn is also there, and we are just standing by for this update, which should be beginning any moment now. Let's listen in.
Yeah. Ready? Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Melissa Hammond. I'm the captain of the Santa Fe Springs, California Highway Patrol Office. We are responsible for investigating today's collision that occurred at Telegraph and Mills. I will be introducing our speakers for today. First up, I'm introducing Captain Sheila Kelleher from the Los Angeles County Fire Department.
Good morning, Captain Keller here. About 6:30 this morning at Fire Station 96, they heard a loud crash and they came out to find the recruit class for the Sheriff Department running by, and a vehicle collision had happened. We know for sure we have a 22-year-old male driver that was going the wrong way and ran into the recruit class. 22 recruits were struck at some point by the vehicle or sustained injuries from the collision. We had 5 immediate transports, 4 moderate transports, and 14 minor. Now those numbers may fluctuate as they get to the hospital, and those injuries may change a bit, but we know that for sure. After they heard the accident, they immediately responded an extra almost 20 response vehicles to get out there and help support and get our victims to local area hospitals. They were dispersed about 7 different local area hospitals. At this point, that is what we know. We don't know much else about the driver. I'll pass that on.
Thank you, Captain. Next is Supervisor for LA County, Janice Hahn.
Thank you, Captain Hammond. And I know that this morning all of Los Angeles County has been riveted by the news starting early this morning and horrified at the thought that our recruits from this training facility right here on their morning run were plowed into by a vehicle. I do know that currently Sheriff Alex Villanueva and our Chief of the Fire Department, Tony Maroney, are currently at UCI Hospital with those that were taken there. And I want to thank all the first responders this morning to this tragic event. We know that our paramedics responded from Station 96 immediately. We do know that our Sheriff's Department was out there securing the scene. And I want to thank our California Highway Patrol, Chief Sampson, for leading this investigation to find out exactly what happened. I am personally heartsick. I've been reached out to by my fellow colleagues on the Board of Supervisors. We will do whatever we can to offer our help and support. I worry about the other recruits that were running alongside their fellow recruits and witnessed this happening. I always worry about our paramedics who are trained to respond to these kinds of crash scenes, but there will be a lot of trauma after this, and we're one big county family. And I know, again, on behalf of my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors, we will do whatever we can to provide the resources that the recruits, the family members will need. But my first thoughts are that I am pulling for these 22 to come through this, and that's what we all want today. And then will support the Highway Patrol in getting to the bottom of how in the world this could have happened this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Hahn. Up next will be Assistant Chief Charlie Sampson with the California Highway Patrol Southern Division, and he will be taking questions at the end of his portion.
Good morning, Charlie Sampson with the CHP. We had an incident that occurred at 6:25 this morning. We had the Sheriff's Department cadets in formation running north on Mills Avenue. We had a vehicle going southbound, and for reasons we're still determining and being investigated, veered into opposing lanes and struck multiple cadets in that formation. The injury updates on those were given to you by the Sheriff's Department. Right now, the investigation is led by the CHP. However, we are coordinating with the County Sheriff's Homicide Bureau. They're going to be liaison with our investigation. I know there's a lot of information out there, and you guys want to know details on what happened. However, unfortunately, that's still being investigated. But I can tell you, we're going to look at the totality of this incident, from an intentional act to distracted driving to possibly impaired driving to an accident. We will not leave anything uninvestigated at this point right now. So, but it's very preliminary. We don't have a lot of information on the reason for that, but we do know it's a solo driver in the vehicle. He's 22 years old and he's from Diamond Bar at this point. We're not going to release his name due to the ongoing investigation right now. And for the CHP, I know that in a mass casualty incident like this, it's extremely painful for the families, especially for the Sheriff's Department. I want to send our sympathies to all the cadets that were injured in this, the other cadets that were part of that formation, and the families involved in this. However, as you guys know, there are a lot of people and witnesses that we still have to interview. In addition, with your support, if there are any witnesses out there that were driving or walking by and saw the incident, please come forward and contact the CHP, and we'll provide you that phone number after this briefing. But all that information is the only thing I can release at this time. However, I can take questions. However, you guys know the limitations of what I can say. Yes, that's DUI is being investigated, and I do not have the results of that. That's correct.
I don't know if you mentioned this already, but you said the ethnicity of the driver?
I believe Hispanic at this point. I don't know for sure, but I believe Hispanic.
Was there a distance that he came across the road and then struck him, or he just came directly across and struck him?
I don't have that information. That's still being investigated.
Was he speeding?
Don't have that information either. That's still part of the investigation.
Is he in custody?
At this point, he's only being detained and still being investigated.
We understand there were 22 recruits who were hit. How many were part of this group total?
The last number that I got, I thought there were 75 total in the formation running as a morning run for their Sheriff's Academy.
Is it fair to say speed is a factor, considering the number of people he hit, struck, injured, and also a pole that was, I believe it was knocked down?
It's fair that we're going to investigate to see if speed's a factor. However, when a vehicle gets hit by a pedestrian, the vehicle is a lot more impact. The impact of a vehicle to a pedestrian is pretty traumatic at any speed. So, but speed will be a factor that we look at.
The driver was taken to the hospital, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I said he was taken to the hospital. Was he conscious when you guys talked to him?
That I don't. The information on the driver itself, I don't have that information.
And obviously, being a USB, SUV, it was bigger, so the impact was harder, right?
SUVs typically are heavier vehicles, yes.
You don't have an injury report on him? Like what kind of sustained bones, anything that? What is that injury?
Are you talking the driver?
The driver.
At this point, I don't have any an injury update on the driver.
On the cadets?
As far as the fire department just gave you the information on the totality of those injured. I don't have any new updates outside of what the fire department already gave you.
Did the driver hit a building or just the cadets? It seems like a lot of impact there.
I don't know the total cause within the path of the collision, but all that's going to be investigated by our investigators.
Did the driver try to flee? Did he try to run? Did he
No.
try to get away? Not in any way at all?
No information that I have indicates that.
Did the driver have any connection to the cadets or any of the facilities?
I don't have any information to
Apparently
consider that.
told us that his foot was still on the accelerator and that Deputy recruits had to punch through the window to get him to stop. Do you have any information on that part of it?
I do not. You guys, as in mass casualty events like this, there are going to be a lot of narratives that are being pushed out. We will vet out everything, all the information that's coming out on that. But as of right now, we can only go based on the facts that we have, and information like that, we can't provide that information.
And apologies if you said this, but do we know the extent of the driver's injuries?
I don't have an update on his injuries.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, I didn't hear you.
When she was speaking, it was very soft. Would you break down the current, how many majorly injured, the current figures, please? And we didn't get your name.
Sheila Kelleher.
Ma'am, can you push up your hand?
We have 5 immediate critical patients, 4 moderate, and 14 minor. Now those numbers may fluctuate when the patients get to the hospital and they may recategorize them, but that's the initial stats that we have.
And that's as of this morning? Or
That's as when they were transported off scene.
when transported, so we don't have an update.
Not yet.
Are the most critical at DCI?
Don't have that information, but the most critical always go to our trauma centers.
We understand that some of the family was flown to meet their for the critical event.
I don't have that information.
Any other questions?
We have other speakers.
No.
Is the driver cooperating with investigators?
Everything that was told to me, he is cooperating.
Was there any before the authorities got there? Was there any recruits having to rescue other people, other recruits?
Fire was on scene.
Was that going on? Did they set in and get into form and start rescuing other people that are injured more than them? Did you see? Was that ever?
Yeah, I did not get any information on how those cadets that were injured were triaged and by whom.
Can you talk to us about the triage? Did it work? You guys practice this all the time?
When it comes to multi-casualty incidents, LA County Fire does an amazing job at triaging the patients, sorting them out, determining whether or not they're critical, minor, or major. And from there, then we can get the critical off scene as quickly as possible. We have that golden hour where they need to get to a trauma center, and that happened flawlessly this morning. Because it was a still alarm, that means that the firefighters at the station heard the crash, they ran out and immediately started treating the patients and taking care of them. And also they sent out for more resources and they balanced out the assignment, and we had a ton of resources on scene, and it was amazing to watch all those patients get off scene as fast as they did. So I think your team did an incredible job this morning in taking care of their fellow brothers and sisters that work for law enforcement.
Really quick, I'm sorry, I was at the other location. I can be on late. Can you go over the victims? How many numbers do we have?
There's 23 victims total, including the driver. We had 22 recruits that were struck or part of the accident, and I had 5 criticals, 4 moderate, and 14 minor.
What was the total recruits that were there?
There were about 75 running in formation, and of those, like I said, 22 were injured. All right? And that number will change as they get, taken care of at the hospital. Those categories may change. Critical, moderate, 4 moderate, and 14 minor.
Most critical were flown?
I know one was flown. I don't know the rest, but I know one was flown for sure.
Thank you very much. Can anybody of you say anything in Spanish for the Spanish?
We will have a Spanish translator available just after the press conference is over. The Sheriff's Department is going to have their press conference at 10 o'clock.
Okay, we were just hearing from law enforcement officials giving us the latest on this wrong way crash that injured 22 Los Angeles Sheriff's Department recruits. They told us that 75 of these recruits were out for a morning run just before 6:30 this morning in Whittier when an SUV plowed into them, injuring 22 of them. We're told 5 are listed in critical condition, 4 in moderate condition, 14 with minor injuries. We also learned that the driver is a 22-year-old from Diamond Bar. They are looking into why this person was driving the wrong way and ended up on that sidewalk. You're looking at live pictures of the scene right now. They're looking into whether this driver was under the influence, possibly distracted, whether speed was a factor. Still very early in this investigation. The people who were injured, again, 22 Los Angeles Sheriff's Department recruits were taken to 7 different hospitals, and we are expecting an update from one of those hospitals, UCI Medical Center in Orange. We're expecting to hear from Sheriff Villanueva at 10 o'clock this morning. We will bring that to you live right here on KCAL and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles.
This has been a KCAL 9 News special report.